Namaste, everyone. Welcome. Today, I would like us to practice a few postures to strengthen our glutes and hamstrings. So the gluteus maximus is the biggest muscle in our body, so it's really good to keep it strong. It's very important muscles, and it works in group with gluteus, medius, and minimus. So there is a group of muscles in our buttocks. And those muscles are keeping us, our trunk standing, our trunk vertical, and it helps us, they help us standing up like from a chair, walking up the stairs. So those where the muscles are really helpful and needed. And because of sedentary lifestyle and lack of movement, they become weaker. We weaken them by not using them, like with any muscles, right? How do you know that your glutes are weak? Very often, weak glutes cause lower back pain. We start slouching because the muscles are not strong enough to hold our trunk properly up. So you will feel that slouching, and when you feel lower back pain, very possible that your glutes are getting weak. People with weak glutes also can feel hip and knee pain, or even get foot blisters because of the change of gait and how that works. Sometimes they get more often than other plantar fasciitis. So how do we strengthen our glutes? It's very easy. There are a few postures in yoga that are especially good for that. One of those postures is tree, for example, a tree pose. So practicing a tree can strengthen our glutes, among other muscles. It also improves our balance, which is wonderful. So to practice a tree, look at something that is not moving in front of you. Something that's not moving in front of you. You're putting your whole body weight on the standing leg, and then the non-standing leg, the other leg, goes either on your calf, on your thigh, or some people like to practice this posture in half lotus way. So they lift the sole of their foot towards the ceiling, pressing that standing foot to the floor. So whichever tree you like to do is your choice. I like to do this tree on my thigh, but I like to keep my heel away from the thigh. That's the way that Tao Porchon Lynch was teaching the tree. And I really like it. You'll see how different muscles are working. In the tree pose, for the sake of glutes, you can hold to a wall. But if you want to challenge your balance, you can bring your hands either in front of your heart or over your head, whatever works better for you. So holding this posture for about a minute or so. You can hold it longer if that feels good. So if you feel that the balance is not really good, for the sake of the glutes, you can really bring your hand either to the chair, a table, or a wall. So holding this posture, you'll see the muscles start working, and not only your glutes, many other muscles are working here, like your calves are working. And lower your hands and let go of this posture. You can shake the leg a little bit and see the difference between the left and right. And then moving to the other side, finding your tree. So whichever way you like to practice on this side, I'll choose to do. It doesn't have to be the same, but it can be. So let me just go for the same way I was doing on the other side. And again, here, more important is to be in this posture without disruption. So if your balance is not the best, hold to the back of the chair, table, wall, whatever there is for you. If you know that you can stand here for like a minute or so, hands in front of the heart. I'm a little bit wobbly today. And or hands over your head or to sides, relaxing the shoulders, bringing your awareness to the breath, tensing your buttock a little bit, the standing leg buttock, tensing it. Keep breathing. Look at something that is not moving in front of you that helps with the balance. So having that drishti point. Tensing that buttock a little bit. Breathe. Then letting go. After a minute or longer, letting go, shake that leg, shake that leg. And we're moving to extended triangle. That's another posture that helps in strengthening the glutes. So we are trying to get all three glutes. So gluteus, minimus, maximus, and medius. Separating your feet, bringing the right foot to the right, left either forward or maybe even slightly in. Now the outside of the left foot is pressing to the ground. It's pressing to the ground. We'll start with elongating the trunk, bringing the arms to sides. The trunk is up and to side. My left hip goes slightly back, very good. And then the right arm goes up, down, left one up, and then I flip it and extend over my ear, opening the chest towards the ceiling. A little bit wider stance, maybe. Pressing the outside of the left foot to the floor. Trying not to round the exterior side, so my left side of the body, so I'm not rounding it. Feeling the tension in my left glutes. Trying to keep the arm parallel to the ear. Breathing. Holding this posture for a little bit longer. Chest goes towards the ceiling, and then inhale, coming up and releasing that arm. Switching sides. Left foot turns to the left, right one, either forward or slightly in, making sure that my hip doesn't round towards that left leg, so it goes to the right, not to the left. And bringing my arms to sides, outside of the right foot, so the little pinky is pressing towards the floor. Inhale, and on exhalation, I'm elongating the trunk and moving to the left. The left arm goes down, the right one up. I'm flipping my hand and extending that posture. Tensing the right buttock, elongating the trunk, not rounding, trying to keep from the foot to fingers, the body in one line. Opening the hips to the right. There is no body weight on my left leg. I'm using that hand kind of to leverage to open a little bit. So I breathe. The glutes on the right side are working nicely. And then inhaling, coming up and releasing. Toes to heels. And I'm moving to the camel pose. In a camel pose, again, there are a few steps in this pose. I'm going down knee by knee, bringing my hands to the hips. So if you're new to this posture, you may want to separate your knees. You may want to separate your knees a little bit. It's easier. But if you've been practicing camel, or the front of your legs, the hip flexors are stretched and long, it's easy for you to stretch them. You can bring your knees closer together. So whatever it is for you, bring your hands in the buttocks, a little bit over, elbows close together to bring the chest forward. Can tense your buttocks. Tense your buttocks. This will tense your buttocks and hamstrings. This will soften the front of your legs and it will be easier to stretch the front, okay? So as you tense, the fronts will release a little bit. Elbows closer together, and I'm going to do it from the side so you have a proper view. And the first step is to press your hips forward, tense the buttocks here, chest goes nicely forward and up. And you're going to keep your hands in the lower back, or if your body does it, you can bring your hands to the ankles or to your heels. Press the hips forward. Lowering your head if you don't have any problems in your neck. Staying here for a little bit. Then whenever ready, coming up hand by hand to your hips. Taking a nice breath. And moving to the bridge pose. The bridge pose, we are going to start on our back with knees bent. The feet are as wide as your hips. Trying not to separate your knees as you go into the posture. Okay, trying to keep the knees in one place. The hands face down as you lift your hips. Lifting the hips up. Notice what happens with the glutes. They tense. That's how they get stronger. Lower down. So for a few times, just go up and down. Just going up and down a few times. Notice how that feels. If your glutes are not strong enough to do that yet, you may bring a block underneath and do it with a block. So it depends how strong your glutes are. With the block, you would put it under the edge of the block, under the meaty part of the glutes to hold the glutes heat. Yeah. Kind of lower than the tailbone, and where the softer side of your glutes, the softer part of the glute starts. You can want to do that. Or your glutes are strong enough, you can lift them higher, bring your shoulder blades closer together, and bring your hands, clasp the fingers under your back, pressing your hands to the floor, lifting your hips nicely up, and pressing your feet down and forward without moving them. Down and forward without moving it. That will propel your hips, your pelvis nicely up. The glutes are nicely tense. That allows to stretch the front of your legs and your hips. Pressing your hands to the floor, keep breathing. The feet are very active. They are pressing down and forward without moving. The body weight on your shoulders, pressing your hands to the floor. Hips are nicely up. Holding this posture for a good few breaths. To strengthen the muscles, the longer you hold it, the better. Keep breathing. And you can work this posture up for longer holds. And then release, let go. To release the pressure from your back, you can bring your thighs towards the chest and relax the shoulders. Take a few breaths here. And just notice how you feel. It's so beautiful to be able to strengthen the muscles just using your body and to connect with your body. That's the yoga part where we breathe and be in one team with the body. So we're working with the body here, asking for consent, not doing anything that the body is not happy with. And the last posture is the locust pose. And again, there are a few steps. So let's move to the side. And this time we're going to lie down on the abdomen. You can move down and lie on the abdomen. The classical way to do it is to bring your arms under your body. We'll start with half locust. Start with half locust, keeping your chin down. Arms along the body with palms facing down. Start with half locust, bringing one leg at a time. So tensing a buttock, elongating a leg, elongating one leg. The other leg is firmly on the floor as well. And lifting the leg up without lifting the hip. So the leg is elongating, lifting up, but without rotating your hips. And on exhalation, lower the leg down. Let's do it a few times on one side. Inhale, lifting the leg. Exhale, lowering down. Again, lifting the leg up. Hold it for a moment. Pointing and exhale down. And then other side. Pressing through your arms. Inhale, lift the other leg up. The knee is straight, toes are pointing. Without lifting the hips. Exhaling down. So we are strengthening here the glutes as well as our hamstrings. Inhale, lifting the leg up. Exhaling down. And again, inhale. Lifting the leg up and exhaling nicely down. And there are a few variations of the locust pose. Let me show you two most effective for strengthening the glutes. So first one is where you bring your hands behind you, clasp your fingers, lift the chest, and lift your legs up. Lifting your legs up. The higher you lift the legs, the stronger your glutes become. So neck is neutral. Make sure that you're breathing evenly. When you start struggling with your breath, that means you're doing a little bit too much. The arms are extending away from your buttocks towards your feet. Keep breathing. So this is one variation. Lower yourself down. And the classical version that may feel a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but you get used to it. If your body does it, may bring your arms under your chest and the hands, palms are facing down. Some people like to make fists with their hands. Whatever works better for you, just notice that. Bring your shoulders a little bit closer together, feet come together. Beautiful. Pressing towards the shoulders, the hands, engaging the abdominal muscles and your glutes. Lifting the legs up. The body goes forward. Don't have to go too high. Hold a foot or so over the floor. Keep breathing. Glutes working nicely. So see which of those postures works better for you. And lower your legs down. Extending those holds as you get stronger will be easier. And we're getting ready to relax in Shavasana. So you can either stay in a crocodile pose with your toes touching each other, big toes and heels going to sides and elbows to sides and bringing your one cheek on the pillow. And you can stay here to relax. Or classical way, Shavasana, coming on your back, separating your feet, toes pull sideways, hands slightly away from the body, palms facing up. Notice your breath. Notice your feet and see if it's possible to relax your feet. Relaxing the calves. After tensing all those muscles, now it's time to relax. Now notice your buttocks. Notice the glutes. Tense them. Intentionally tense them totally, and then let go. Tense all your glutes, all the muscles in your buttocks. Tense, maybe even lift your hips a little bit if that feels good. And release. And one more time. Tensing the buttocks, tensing all the muscles in the buttocks. Feel it. And release. Relaxing your lower back, mid and upper back. Letting go of any tension in your shoulders, arms. Noticing the gentle movement of your chest and abdomen as you breathe in and out. Letting go with every breath, letting go of any remaining tension from your body. Noticing more softness in the muscles. Shavasana is a posture in which we learn how to move from this sympathetic nervous system, fight and flight, to the parasympathetic, rest and digest, at will. Sometimes when we only have a very little time to relax, we know how to do it. Relaxing the face, forehead, whole body. Whole body's breathing, whole body's relaxing. Dwelling in this place of relaxation and peace. For as long as you feel comfortable and for as long as it feels beneficial. Knowing that the more you relax your body, the mind will follow as well. And you may find less mental activity, more connection. Mind becomes more peaceful, less busy, more content. And stay here in this place of peace and relaxation as long as it feels comfortable and beneficial. Or you can start moving your toes, fingers, maybe rotating your head from side to side, sliding your feet together and stretching the arms over the head, giving yourself a good stretch. And release, bringing the knees towards the chest if that feels comfortable, hugging your knees, stretching the buttocks a little bit, and then rolling to one side to this fetal position. Pressing through one hand. Sitting cross-legged or whatever feels comfortable. The light in me honors the same light in you. Namaste. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. If you liked the video, please give it a like, say something in comments, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and press the bell so that you're informed about new content that I upload. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.